First organized in 1824, Hendricks County was named for William Hendricks, then governor of the young state. From its humble beginnings, Hendricks County has risen to become the second fastest growing county in Indiana. Located in the heart of the county, just south of the Danville Town Square, lies the Hendricks County Historical Museum. The museum is dedicated to preserving important artifacts that help to tell the story of the residents of Hendricks County. Their collection includes artifacts from the Central Normal College, a space dedicated to military artifacts, and a parlor room decorated with late 18th century furnishings. The Cascade Middle School PACE class has come to the museum to investigate little-known artifacts in their collection and help to share their story with the world. Come and join us as we examine this week's episode of The Secrets on the Shelf.
This is the Clark Carriage Heater Model 7D. It was used to make carriage rides more comfortable during the cold winter months.
Clark carriage heaters were made by the Chicago Flexible Shaft Company, eventually known as Sunbeam. Originally, they made horse clipping machines.
The Chicago Flexible Shaft Company was founded in the early 1890s by John K. Stewart and Thomas J. Clark. The first heater was made in 1908.
The 7D model came out in 1910.
It was commonly used in carriages, but could also be used at homes.
There's a metal drawer in the middle of the heater. You would place a hot cold brick in the drawer and then slide it back in.
The whole box would heat up and provide warmth for several hours. There were adjustable ventilators that you could use to control the amount of heat coming out. It was about 20 inches long, 10 inches wide, and 10 inches tall.
Its dimensions let it fit snugly down where your feet would rest in a carriage. Its diagonal slope made it perfect to rest your feet for the entire ride.
This product was revolutionary because people would ride on horse-drawn carriages everywhere.
During the winter, it could become uncomfortable in the cold carriage. In some cases, people could suffer from pneumonia and frostbite. With the warmer, the entire ride, no matter how long it lasted, passengers could stay comfortable and warm.
In the following skit, we will act out an example of a shopkeeper explaining the carriage heater to a buyer.
I'm freezing.
There's a town about 2 miles out. We'll grab something to eat and warm up inside.
I'll try to find something to keep us warm for the rest of the trip.
You look cold. Do you need something?
Yeah, I have a long trip ahead of me and I need something to stay warm without just putting on more layers.
Let's see. I think I have something for you. This here is the Clark Carriage Heater Model 7D. All you have to do is light a brick, that comes with it, and put it in this drawer, and then slide the drawer back in. The brick smoldering will heat up the whole radium shell, and it'll keep it warm for about 8 hours, which is probably as long as your trip's going to take.
Well, where do I put it?
You put it down where your feet rest in the carriage, so then it heats up your feet, which will eventually heat up your whole body.
Cool. Well, how much does it cost?
$2.25 for the heater and the brick.
Well, you got a deal.
Sounds good.
Our project was on the Leek family hair wreath. The wreath is about 12 by 8 inches and was made around 1893. This artifact was donated by Eldora Keeney and was originally created by her grandparents, James and Harriet Leek.
Hair wreaths were traditionally found in the late 1800s and were an heirloom to remember past family members. Typically, women would take the hair of their deceased friends and family members and weave it into intricate designs and patterns using crochet or tatting methods. This practice was especially common with Civil War soldiers.
The wreaths were usually made into a horseshoe shape to symbolize the ascent into heaven. However, hair preservation wasn't limited to wreaths. People used lockets for a single person's hair to remember them, and even today, people still create various items using human hair, including a more modern method of encasing hair in resin.
In this skit, we will be portraying the creators of the hair wreath and their granddaughters.
Did you see that James Leek died this week? Oh my, no. I feel so bad for his wife and granddaughter.
It says here James and Harriet married in 1839. Oh, and he helped to build 6 one-room schoolhouses.
You know, I wonder if he was inspired by Harriet. They met while she was teaching.
I say we go to the funeral.
Sure.
We are gathered here today to celebrate the life and passing of James Lee, a proud father, grandfather, and husband. He lived from 1816 to 1883. He was beloved to many. Harriet, would you like to say anything?
I have nothing to say. All I want is to take a bit of his hair.
Very well. Grandma, what are you doing with Granddad's hair?
Don't you remember when I told you about our family's hair wreath?
No.
Well, I suppose it's been a while. It has a bit of all of our deceased family members' hair in it.
Really? Well, where's mine?
Well, usually I only do it after people die, but, you know, I could add yours if you wanted. It's more about our family's history and remembering those we've lost.
Like how you kept Mom's jewelry.
Yep, her hair's in here too, and my dad's right here.
Oh, where's Mom's hair?
It's complicated, sweetie. Let's take a trip down memory lane. I want to tell you about everyone here.
Let's go!
Artifact is Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear has a long and rich history. It all started with a campaign by the Forest Service to raise awareness and prevent forest fires. However, this fictional character soon came to life in 1950.
This is when a young orphan bear cub was found holding onto a tree for its life in a New Mexico wildfire.
A brave firefighter rescued the young cub and they took it to a renowned veterinarian.
Smokey's story became famous and the campaign skyrocketed. Sadly, Smokey passed away in 1976. His memory and legend still lives today in our hearts.
Smokey has 5 rules. Rule number 1, only you can prevent wildfires.
Rule 2, always be careful with fire.
Rule 3 tells you to never play with matches or lighters.
In Rule 4, Smokey tells us to always keep an eye on our campfire.
Finally, Rule 5 says make sure your campfire is completely out before you leave it unattended.
This Smokey the Bear doll is our artifact, and it was made in the 1950s, and now it is worth over $50.
In the following skit, you will see
Smokey's origin and how he came to life. I love this smoking litter.
Dang it, I hate it when people come out here and litter in the woods and start forest fires. Ugh. Oh my goodness. There's a lost baby bear cub out here in the woods. I better take it off to the vet. Vet, do you think you can help this bear I found in the woods?
Yeah, I'll check him out. I think he should be good though.
Alright, thank you. I'll come back, check back up on him later.
Okay.
Vet, is the bear alright?
I think the bear's okay. It was a stressful work, but he'll be fine.
Alright. Do you think maybe we should give him a name?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm thinking Frank.
No, that's silly. We should do Smokey because he was in a wildfire and we want to prevent these from happening.
Alright, that's a good name, Doc.
Artifact is a poster that hung at the Royal Theater in Danville, Indiana when it reopened in 1927. The poster advertises the 1927 movie Rookies.
This poster is made up of paper and is 27 by 40 inches. It was printed in color and shows the stars of the movie Carl Dane and Marcy Lynn Day.
The poster shows the two of them gazing into each other's eyes while falling in love. Here are some pictures of more posters in the Royal Theater.
The Royal Theater is the oldest theater in Hendricks County. There were many theaters that used to be on the town square, but the Royal Theater is the only one that survives on the square to this day. Thomas Barnett bought the theater in 1926, and reconstruction started later that year.
The current Royal Theater is built next to where the old one stood in 1914. Along with the reopening, they installed a new pipe organ, a stage for live entertainment, and new ornate marquee illuminated by light bulbs. With the reconstruction of the building, it made the Royal Theater the only theater in Indiana to have a Tudor style.
Bill and Sharon Wright purchased the Royal and the rest of the building in 2017. At the time, the Royal was being run by a management company owned by a local resident. After COVID shutdowns, it was determined that Bill and Sharon would now run the theater, and their ownership included being the operators as well. They began renovation in January of 2021 and for the most part finished up in the fall of 2021.
Hey, do you want to go to the movies with me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, do you want to go watch Rookies? It's a 1927 classic, and they're showing it for their 20th year anniversary.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Okay. Here's your popcorn.
Thank you.
Here's your drink.
Thank you.
These seats, they're awfully small, and these walls are a bit dark here. I wish they'd be a bit brighter. I just feel a little cramped in here.
Yeah, that would be so much better. And I don't know why they moved the location. They should have just kept it in the same place.
Yeah, seems like it.
Man, it's been a hot minute since I've been here. The movie theater was last over there.
Yeah, it's been a while. At least it's still Tudor style.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this place. I love the new interior design.
Yes, I love it too. Let's go ask this young woman when they remodeled.
Hi, what can I get you?
We'll take 2 popcorns, and I would like to know when you remodeled.
Okay, here's your popcorn. To answer your question, the theater was remodeled 3 years ago, and we finished around 2021.
Oh wow, looks great. It gives me flashbacks from when I was a kid.
All right, thanks, sir. We're gonna go enjoy our movie.
Oh my goodness, it looks so different in here.
These seats, wow. They're huge and these white walls. I wonder if they're still using that old projector up in the projector room. Have you ever been up there?
No.
Oh, you missed it. I also heard they put in a new pipe organ, a stew for live entertainment, and one of those ornate canopy marquee illuminated by lights, which I heard.
This Rookies movie was one of my favorites when it came out in 1928. I remember when it premiered back in the day.
Yes, I remember this movie so well. I remember when I brought you to this movie back in college.
I feel so old. I've seen these doors open and close a few times.
The 1876 rug beater. It was created by Melville R. Bissell. It was more affordable product than the vacuum. The beater was only sold for 18 cents. It was made out of spring steel and coiled wire. They could also be made out of wood, rattan, and cane. The height was 30.5 inches and the width was 9.5 inches. The way it was used by taking your dusty rug outside and draping it over your porch. You hold it with one hand and in the other you have the rug beater. With that hand you beat the beater against the rug until it is clean.
This vacuum was a very important feature in many people's homes in the 1870s. It was 4 foot tall and 1 foot wide. To use it, you move the vacuum back and forth in front of you and move the cylinder up and down. The big barrel acts as a suction to collect everything on the floor. It was mainly a luxury item sold at $39. It was produced and manufactured by the Feeney Manufacturing Company. It was mainly produced in Muncie, Indiana.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going fine.
Oh no, what's wrong?
I cleaned the house today.
Well, that's not so bad.
No, you don't understand.
What about it?
I have to drag the carpet out every time, drape it over the fence, and beat it with this rug beater, and my arms are always sore after.
Well, have you not heard?
Heard what?
The new invention in town.
What is this thing? Where did it come from, and who did invented it?
It can fix all your dirty rug problems. It came from the Feeney Manufacturing Company in 1910.
What is it?
It's a vacuum that can sweep up all the crumbs, especially off dirty rug surfaces.
So no rug beater anymore?
No rug beater.
I can't believe I haven't heard of this yet. Where can I get it?
You can get it at the Feeney Manufacturing Company. It's 2 miles by the train station.
Well, I might as well get going. I can't wait any longer.
Okay, I'll see you around.
Bye.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello there.
Are you looking for anything specific?
Yes, this, what's the word? Vacuum.
Oh yeah, we have one left in stock.
What's my lucky day? How much will this cost me?
$39.
Well, this vacuum better be worth the price.
Oh, I promise you it is. It's one of our luxury items, so it is on the higher price. But if you don't like it, you can return it in 15 days.
Perfect, thank you.
Our artifact is the 1914 Central Normal Yearbook. The 1914 yearbook is dedicated to John Walter Laird. He was the president of CNC during the year of 1914.
In the yearbook, it shows new buildings and the student body. The next few pages show the different staff members and the trusted board members.
Throughout the yearbook, you see the different graduate classes. The yearbook starts with the seniors and continues to the different grades. After all the grade levels are featured, you will find the athletic program photos.
The athletic pictures have team pictures, individuals, and the names of the athletes. During 1914, the only sports at CNC were baseball and basketball.
The section after athletics is literacy. This section includes stories that students from the college created and submitted to the yearbook.
Within the pages of the yearbook, you can find many different pages showing life at CNC. In the following scene, you will see students in the process of making the 1914 yearbook coming together.
Now smile really big for the camera. Perfect, next person.
I hope that picture is good for the yearbook.
Now that we got done with the pictures, now we can start on making the actual yearbook.
Yeah, I can't wait to dedicate the yearbook to John Walter Laird.
Who is that?
He's the president of CNC, and we are including him because of his efforts to better young men and women in the college.
Now let's get started. You can do all the drawing and pictures, and I'll actually write the yearbook.
Okay, what all is the yearbook going to be about?
The second page is about the new building, which is where CNC was remodeled. We had to raise money before we could remodel it. In the basement of the new building is going to be half of the gymnasium, and the other half will be the heating plant. The ground floor will be divided into half will be the library, and the other half will be classrooms. The top floor will be used by the science department. So the next couple of pages will be about the staff and faculty, and then the pages after that are leading on to the classes. These pages will be about the students. Can you show out some pictures about the sports team?
Yeah, we can add the basketball team because they had an undefeated season and they won the Olympic trials.
Maybe we can get the team together and take some live action pictures in the team picture.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey, can I talk to you? Yeah. Do you care if we take some pictures of you for the CNC yearbook?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, now that we're done with the athletic part of our yearbook, we can ask the seniors if they are done with their literacy section yet.
What do you mean by the literacy section?
Let me find it. Right here.
It is where 3 seniors write their own little story to add to the yearbook to make it a little more interesting.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go ask them and get the stories from them. Are you guys done with your literacy section yet?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now that the yearbook is all done, we can send it out to all the students. I hope they like it.
Me too. Anyone who bought a 1914 yearbook, please report to the main office. Thank you.
I'm here for my yearbook.
Here you go.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, my picture looks so good. It looks really well done and professional.
Our artifact is a United Detectives Company badge. This was a badge that belonged to a sheriff that specialized in catching horse thieves in the early 1800s and 1900s. Based on our research, we believe that this badge was a Pinkerton badge. The reason we think that it's a Pinkerton badge is due to its similarities to the other badges that we researched.
We believe that this badge was made of brass. The badge also has the words United Detective Co. engraved at the top of it.
Horse thieves were a major problem in western states, in particular Kansas. Usually, when the sheriff would hear about horse thieves, he would send out a few men to search for the horse thief. If those men were unable to find the horse thief, then the sheriff would send out more men until the horse thief was found.
Pinkerton Company began in 1850. It was an American police force and was founded by a man named Alan Pinkerton.
The following skit will be telling a story about a man who stole a horse and then managed to get all the way from Kansas to Arkansas. He managed to do that with even 200 of the Vigilance Committee members chasing him. When he was caught, he was then hung as a punishment. This will be shown as in our skit, just not as great.
Hello, sir. I have a letter from Miss Smith Isle.
Again? I don't think there's something she hasn't reported yet.
I know, but I think it's serious this time.
Okay, give me the letter. Just give me the letter, Clyde.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Dear Sheriff Perkins, I went out to my barn yesterday to eat a salad for my horse. When I returned to put my saddle on my horse, he was gone. I'm really missing my horse Sugar Biscuit. I don't know how in the world I'm going to find my precious baby. Please help me, Sheriff Perkins. I've heard things about these horse thieves and how they aren't always found. I've heard about 2 horse thieves that killed a guy. Barkley and Brummett were their names, I think. I hope that hasn't happened to me or my Sugar Biscuit. I know that you guys have specific men for these jobs, but I really need my horse back. Sincerely, Shonda Lucille Smith Isle.
Oh, wow, that's serious.
Really? What was it?
Were you eavesdropping again, Clyde?
No.
We talked about this. Now get out of my office.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me get a hold of some of the Vigilance Committee members. We're going to need as many of them as we can get. Clyde, get back in here.
Yes, sir.
Let's get someone out to Miss Smith's house. Tell them if they don't find anybody in 2 days to report back to me. And then, if they don't find anybody, we're also going to get a hold of some of the Vigilance Committee members. We're going to need as many of them as we can get. We are going to find Sugar Biscuit.
All right, sir. I'm on it.
In the early 1800s, people would wrongly accuse others of being a horse thief if they owned a horse that was expensive or rare. Luckily, most people who did this were caught for framing someone or stealing.
In the summer of 1903, a man with the last name Poole was shot and killed by 2 horse thieves with the names Barkley and Brummett. The 2 were caught, went to trial, and they were both sentenced to get hung.
Before this case, people began to make anti-horse thieves programs. This often helped with horse thieves, but other times they were not so lucky.
Sir, stop your horse!
Sir, we've had over 200 of the Vigilance Committee members after you. We followed you around Missouri and all the way down to Arkansas. It's time you learn your lesson. What do you mean, learn my lesson?
You'll find out soon enough.
Do you really think it was necessary to hang that guy?
You know how hard it would have to be to put him on a separate horse and watch him 24/7 for days all the way until we get back to Kansas? Do you really think detective companies like Pinkerton will go through all that trouble?
Fair point.
That's what I thought.
The artifact we chose to research was a gramophone. It has a wood outer base with a tone arm to hold the horn up.
The first gramophone was made in 1887 by M.L. Berliner, and its purpose was to give people an easier way to listen to music. It became in use for about 100 years.
Before the gramophone was invented, people didn't have an easy way to listen to music in their homes.
After the gramophone was made, people could listen to music easily. However, the gramophone was expensive, costing $20 to $30. But now that would be worth around $485, so it's extremely expensive and considered a luxury.
To listen to music on the gramophone, you had to put a record in the gramophone and put a needle on the record.
And in order to get the gramophone to play, you had to crank a handle to get the record to spin, and the needle would scratch the record, making sound, and that's how the music played.
I think I've almost got it.
M.L. Berliner has been trying to invent a mobile way of listening to music for years and is close to his final product.
I got it, I finally got it. We're gonna call it the gramophone.
So, Emil decides to go to show his product to a critic.
Look what I made. It is a much easier way to listen to music. All you have to do is put the disc on it and wind it up and it plays music.
Wow. This will make listening to music at home much easier. I'll get you an agent to help you sell this. Emil goes to an agent to see how much his gramophone will be worth. So Emil, is that your product in there?
Yup.
Well, looking at it, I'm thinking you should sell it for somewhere around $480, $490.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, but people will buy it. It's really handy that, you wind it and it plays a disc, so people don't really have, any good way to listen to music right now, so it should be pretty good.
So, let's get to selling.
Yeah.
My heart. Emil died from a heart attack in 1929, but his inventions still live on today.
The artifacts that we will be presenting are hygiene products from the 1902 Sears catalog.
In 1902, early Americans used a hat-shaped tub to wash themselves. The tub was heated up with coals at the bottom. The tub was sold for $4.10. It was made from heavy 3X tin with a japanned and varnished outside.
These were used around the early 1900s and late 1800s. These were used because people didn't really have bathrooms. They would typically have an outhouse and a hat-shaped bathtub to wash themselves in. These were good for most homes, like on the frontier.
In these early times, they wouldn't wash themselves as often as we do. They would typically wash themselves about once a week. However, if their hair was in good condition, they would wait about 2 weeks.
To wash their hair, they would use a large wash basin, which is a deep bowl as well as a pitcher of water. These were kept on their washstand and bathroom. When they would wash their hair, they would only use bars of soap and water.
Most of these products would come from the 1902 Sears Roebuck catalog, which was very widespread in America.
However, as the years went by, the early Americans started to have a better understanding of what hygiene was and how to maintain their health and cleanliness.
And there were more advances in hygiene products, as plumbing was starting to be included in homes, which encouraged daily bathing.
In the following scene, based off frontier life, you will witness a frontier family considering their options in the new 1902 Sears catalog.
Hey Elijah, I found this catalog on the front porch.
Huh, wonder what it could be.
I don't know, it says Sears Roebuck Catalog.
What's that newfangled thing going around the country? You can get a letter and you sign the thing what you want from the catalog and then you ship it. I mean, no, well, you mail it, but they ship things to you.
Oh, I've never heard of a system like that.
You know what, why don't we open it, can we?
Yeah.
Alright. We could buy a house for me.
How much?
$659.
Too much. We just need kitchen utensils.
Yeah, but only you get to use that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, how about we buy, there, I got it, a hat-shaped bathtub. Both of us can use that. People say we stink anyways.
Mayhaps.
Alright, I'm gonna go get the envelope and I'm gonna go sign it.
Okay.
Hey Elijah, I think I see the package out there.
Alright, I'm gonna go check if that's it, and I'm gonna start building it.
Okay.
Huh. I don't think I built that quite right. It's a little boxy. Well, a little boxiness didn't hurt anything. Guess it's time to get clean. Ooh, thing's a little rickety. Time to get through. Haha, that feels great. All right, it's time to dry off. Whew. All right, I think I'm clean now. That was very refreshing.
Good for you.
I think we're gonna go feed the goats now.
I think I'm looking at the goat.
In the Hendricks County History Museum, we found a piece of the interurban railway. The section of the rail was about 3 feet long, and it's constructed from steel.
The interurban railway connected communities throughout Indiana.
The first interurban railways in Indiana were built in the 1850s, which ran through Guilford, Liberty, Washington, and Clay townships.
Through the years, the interurban railways started to get popular and the business started to grow a significant amount.
The interurban was so popular that even the Governor Ira Chase rode the interurban railway to work every day from 1891 to 1893.
The interurban railway made its way to Plainfield from Indianapolis in 1902.
In 1912, the THINE acquires the lines in Crawfordsville and Martinsville. At their peak, they had 402 miles of track, which at the time was second in Indiana.
In 1931, after the years of financial decline, the THINE was sold. The automobile was gaining popularity from 1914 to 1920, and less people were traveling on it.
In 1940, the last electric car went through Plainfield, and soon afterwards, the town of America Legion Post 328 bought the interurban station for $1,750.
In 1943 to 2000, America Legion took over the station and used it as a meeting hall for 57 years straight.
In 2001, they donated the station to the town. AMO also received a grant for $473,000 for a community focus fund. They had to raise 10% of the grant and were successful and got the grant.
In 2003, the town of Plainfield reopens the station as a community center and gathering place.
In the following skit, we will show the rise and fall of the interurban railway.
Us citizens of Plainfield need a way to get around more quickly and efficiently.
I have an idea. Let's bring the interurban from Indianapolis to Plainfield, Danville, and Amo.
That would be a great idea. This will allow people to work in the city while living in the countryside.
And people like us need better opportunity for employment.
Finally, the railway is here and it's a huge success. I ride the interurban to work every single day.
Now that the transportation is so easily accessible, we go downtown and explore new things all the time.
I enjoy the warm ride to my destinations when it is cold outside because walking in the cold is terrible.
Not having to ride a bike or walking is especially nice when it's freezing outside.
As great as it is, I would like to have my own freedoms and go where I want when I want.
I feel the same way, but it's better than nothing, and I feel at least it's faster than walking or riding a bike.
I saw an advertisement for a Model T coming out and I thought that'd be a great idea to get my own vehicle so I could go where I want when I want.
I don't think I'll get a car. I think that the train is efficient enough and gets most places I want to go. Besides, isn't a car expensive?
The Model T was about $800 when it first came out, and now it's only down to $260.
That's a better price than I thought. Maybe that's why I see more and more every day on the road. Hello, sir. My name is Davis Hart, and I'm here with the Republic. I'm here to report on the final ride of the interurban.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Trevor Howard, and I've been the conductor of the interurban for the past 30 years.
That's so sad. What are your thoughts on the interurban going out of business?
It has been sad seeing my everyday customers leave and seeing the amount of people that used to ride the interurban have a significant decline because they bought cars.
What will happen to those people that don't buy cars?
The people that didn't buy cars, there will be a new bus route for them that will go to many of the same destinations that the interurban used to go.
What will happen to all the old stations?
All the old stations will be changed to community centers, libraries, and other activity centers.
Our artifact was the Hendricks County jails. Throughout the 1800s, Hendricks County built 3 different jails.
The first jail was built in 1830 and was located at North Washington Street. It was a 2-story log structure with an exterior stairway leading to the second floor.
This jail was torn down in 1838, the same year that the second one was built. The second jail was a structure with a 3-well thick design and was the most sturdy of all the jails before it.
The local newspapers still record escapes in the September 19, 1857 issue of The Butcher Knife. One of the Danville newspapers reported 4 prisoners escaped.
They escaped by prying a log in the ceiling aside and climbing into the loft. Once there, they broke through the gable end of the roof and lowered themselves to the ground on a rope made from bed sheets.
The people of Hendricks County thought they needed an upgrade, so in the 1860s, when the new courthouse was built, they decided to add a new jail that was made out of brick this time.
Commissioner Martin Gregg, who designed the jail, chose a new style when he built it. The new style was called the Second Empire, which featured a central tower and a mansard roof.
This new jail also had a sheriff's residence attached to it.
We can't keep having these jailbreaks like them butcher knife people. We need to upgrade the jail and make it more secure.
The butcher knife was one of the major escapes in the second Hendricks County Jail. It happened in 1857 when one man escaped.
This happened when he pried a log structure in the ceiling aside. This was one of the main reasons that the Hendricks County rebuilt the second jail into the third jail, which was way more secure as it had a sheriff's residence attached to it.
But how are we going to do that? It's only 1860. We don't have tools or any advancements like that to make it more secure.
We can make it work. All we need to do is brainstorm. How can we make the jail more secure so people don't escape?
What if we have more people watching the prisoners to make sure that they don't get out?
Thomas Matlock was the first sheriff of the 3rd Hendricks County Jail. He served from 1824 to 1862.
He worked out of the sheriff's residence that was attached to the third jail in 1862.
I love that idea. Also, our design was a little off last time for the jail. We could make a change in a little bit, like a mansard roof.
That's a great idea. That will help people don't escape. Couldn't we do that to, like Second Empire style? Like a central tower and a mansard roof?
A mansard roof is a roof with two slopes on each side, with the lower one being way steeper than the one above it. These roofs became popular in the 17th century and mainly used for great use of the attic. Most of the time, the use of the attic was used for another room.
Do we have the money for that?
I don't know. We might have to set up like a fundraiser or pitch in some money for it.
Okay, cool. Then what are we waiting for? Let's get building.
This looks amazing.
I know, we did great.
It's very secure, it looks like.
Yeah, the Second Empire design was a great idea. Good job.
I also like the mansard roof.
Howdy. Hey. So, staff member of the week again, huh?
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, you should really take a break. This company's working you to the bone.
I know, but money's money.
Yeah, but, you know, when you think about it, do you even know where that phone came from? And I mean really came from.
No, but I mean, it can't be that complicated.
Oh, it's not that complicated, huh? Yeah. Well, then listen closely.
The man to first create and revolutionize the phone was Alexander Graham Bell, a popular inventor at the time. Alexander toiled away until he finally created the phone and patented it in 1849. Alexander created a thriving business selling telephones and implementing them into people's lives, but soon he had an idea. The world was ecstatic with the news, and companies like AT&T took the new opportunity to try and gain some revenue by creating and distributing more phones. But things soon died down, and things became rough. And so, on January 8th, 1982, the Bell Company filed for bankruptcy, having formerly split up into smaller companies known as Baby Bells.
Alexander eventually got a lawsuit for trying to monopolize the telecommunications industry. The U.S. Supreme Court forced him to make his patent royalty-free, meaning that anyone could use his design without worrying about copyright.
AT&T did keep the business, and so the story continues on with AT&T, Verizon, and other companies carrying the torch of public distribution of cell phones for the years to come.
Hey.
You weren't paying attention at all, were you?
I may not have been.
Do you want to go to generic burger place?
Alright, sounds good.
Yep.
Our artifact is the Hoosier Homestead Centennial Award. To be named Hoosier Homestead, the farm has to be kept in the family for at least 100 consecutive years and consist of more than 20 acres or produce more than $1,000 in agriculture products per year. Families are eligible for 3 different award distinctions. Based on the age of the farm, they receive the Centennial Award for 100 years, the Cinquennial Award for 150 years, and the Bicentennial Award for 200 years of ownership. But before the award was created in 1972, it was just a contract when the idea came out.
Before the Hoosier Homestead Awards were created in 1972, there was the Ordinary Homestead Contract, which was signed by President Abraham Lincoln. The first person to make a claim for land was Daniel Freeman, but he wasn't from Hendricks County. However, the first person from Hendricks County to receive it was William Henry Harrison Mutzker of Hendricks County. He was a very successful farmer who passed his farm down through 4 generations. They own livestock, crops like corn, and even sugar trees. This next part I'm about to talk about comes from the journal of William Henry Harrison. He was described as, in the journal, a hard worker and had pride in his farm. He died about 1915 in Mercer, West Virginia, United States, at the age of 73, and was buried in Makota, Mercer, West Virginia, United States.
The program was instituted in 1976 and recognizes the contributions of these family farms have made to the economics, culture, and social advancements of Indiana. In the past 30 years, more than 5,000 farmers have received the honor. There are 2 Hoosier Homestead ceremonies each year.
Hi, I'm Chloe Boyle, and I'm a part of the Department of Indiana Agriculture, and today I will be interviewing a homesteader who has owned a farm for 100 years and what their life kind of went like and some challenges that they faced. So Mr. Peters, what would you say your life was like or some challenges that you faced while owning this farm?
Well, my life was pretty interesting. New things happen every day when you're living on a farm. Like, things break down, things happen, that's just how it is. But it's very fun, and all 150 years that we own this farm, something interesting has happened every day.
So would you say it's a very proud honor to have this award?
I think it's a pretty proud honor, considering we've owned 50 acres of land or more for at least 150 years. I think that's a pretty big honor. There's only so many people in America who can do that.
It is a great honor to be a farmer and to work. Agriculture is very important, and to receive these awards is a big thanks to all the farmers that have done what they've done for over 100 years or more. Thank you for everyone, and thank you for allowing us to interview you, Mr. Peters.
No problem.
For our project, we have chosen the lost towns of Hendricks County. During this project, we will be focusing on only 4 towns. These towns are Mare Needmore, Montclair, Maplewood, Raintown, and Pecksburg. We will be explaining what the towns were like when they were founded and what they are like now.
When it comes to naming a town, the last name you think a group of people would choose would be Raintown. Raintown was not named after precipitation, but Hiram Rain, who was a mill owner at the time. In 1872, a post office in Raintown was founded, and in 1914, it was discontinued. Today, Raintown is part of a Union Township and an uncooperative community.
Maplewood is named after exactly what you would suspect, maple trees. Montclair Maplewood, which is today known as Maplewood, is a small, uncooperative community. In 1881, Montclair Maplewood once contained a post office which was named Progress. Its name changed from Progress to Maplewood and stayed that way till the post office later closed down in 1912.
Pecksburg was first platted in 1853. It was named after a railroad official. Pecksburg contained a post office from the years 1852 to 1913. When you think of basketball players, Pecksburg, Indiana is probably not the first place that comes to mind. In 1878, famous basketball player Arthur L. Trester was born in Pecksburg, Hendricks County, Indiana. When Arthur was a kid, he had attended a one-room, small brick classroom that has since been torn down. Arthur L. Trester had met his end in 1944. Since the school was torn down, Pecksburg today is another unincorporated community.
6 miles northwest of Danville on the Maysville Road is where the town that's no longer on maps used to lie. The town is known as Mayor Needsmore. In 1861, the town contained a sawmill, gristmill, blacksmith shops, gun shop, and wagon shop, and there are many other operating things. Needmore also had a post office that was established in 1860 until it was discontinued 3 years later in 1871. The small town had a correspondent that would give information to the Danville newspaper labeled The Butcher Knife. Today, all that's left in Needmore is an abandoned schoolhouse and small tumble down the house. And our project is the Butcher Knife's headlines and interviews. There's going to be a comment at the observatory. We need you to go there and report about it.
Okay, I'll do it.
Alright.
Wow, so cool.
Hey, there's another report. They're going to have a picnic and read the Declaration of Independence on the 4th of July.
So you want me to report on
July
that?
3rd, I mean.
Okay.
Yep. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal stations to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a distinct replica of opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which appeal them to separation.
The Hendricks County Museum has a jacket that belongs to a member of the Flying Tigers. They were the first American Volunteer Bomber Group, or AVG for short. The Flying Tigers had a huge impact because they destroyed 296 Japanese aircrafts in China and Burma.
The type of jacket that it was an A2 leather flight jacket. These jackets were made specifically for bombers. These jackets were made especially for them because when they were flying at high altitudes, it was supposed to keep them warm, and it was a lightweight jacket for any situation they would come across.
The person that this exact jacket belongs to is Ralph Wilcox. Ralph was an Army bomber and his current rank was a major in the Army. He also had a sack to help him carry resources such as 3 days of rations, a blanket, clothes, your sleeping bag, and ammo were all things that they might have had.
These jackets were usually made of horse-hide leather and were covered in patches. Each patch is different and they all have different meanings. They represent different achievements in the military across all of the branches.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Jake, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Good. Have you seen the Uncle Sam posters around lately? What's your opinion on joining the Army?
Well, they're everywhere. I actually think it's a really good idea to recruit young men to actually fight in the war. I'm actually planning on going to sign up next week. Do you want to come with me? Or you can if you want to.
Yeah. I was thinking I might join the Army so we can be stationed together.
Yeah.
Even though I like to fly planes, so I'll mainly be in the Air Force, but I'll see if the Army has some pilots.
Yeah. I'm going, next Saturday. You should come with me.
Alrighty. Well, it was good talking to you. See you later.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, what branch are you looking to join?
I'm looking to join the Army because I want to be stationed with my friend who is also joining the Army. But I really like to fly planes, so I was wondering if I could still be a pilot in the Army and be stationed with my friend.
So we could probably get you to be a pilot. We've been needing a lot more pilots. I don't know about being with your friend, but I think the pilot thing is for sure. I just need you to sign these papers and you'll be on your way.
Alrighty, thank you. Alright, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, everyone, the new kid's here. Hey, why'd you join the Flying Tigers in the first place?
Well, ever since I have been a kid, my grandpa and my dad have been in the military and they've been around planes, so I just fell in love with planes ever since I was a kid. So, I mean, I just want to follow through with their legacy, so.
Yeah, that's similar to my story too. Yeah. Well, you can just get settled in right there. Welcome to the Flying Tigers.
Alright, thanks.
China held a victory parade and invited the Flying Tigers to be a part of it. They held this parade after the Flying Tigers bombed the Japanese twice, forcing them to surrender in the war. They held this to celebrate their accomplishments in winning the war.
The Flying Tigers went on 65 total bombing missions against Japanese targets spread out between China, Burma, and Indochina. They dropped a total of 311 tons worth of bombs and only lost one B-25 bomber.